Now we look at the impact St. Jude's has had on young people closer to home. In 1989, on the first edition of HTV Magazine, we covered the story of Lacey Medlin. She was the daughter of then Hillcrest science teacher Kent Medlin. Lacey was the victim of a life-threatening tumor and began regular trips to Memphis. She is another one of St. Jude's success stories, although it's been a long, tough struggle. Now, 15 years since that first story about Lacey, reporter Jamie Shank has an update.
15 years ago, we didn't know where we would be, for a long time, and I remember the doctors saying that we had a long road ahead of us, and it has been.
Over a decade ago, the Medlin family received the news their daughter Lacey had a cancerous brain tumor. Learning of Lacey's illness was the first obstacle the family faced, but there were many more challenges to come.
What we've dealt with for a lot of the last 15 years is the effects of the cure, which is the chemotherapy and the radiation. Due to the fact those muscles were shut down, we ended up and had 2 surgeries on each foot and three on one of them.
It's hard. Seeing her go through all the surgeries and knowing that I take everything like I have a bad day at basketball practice, and I know that Lacey, she'll never be able to do something like that, and it's bad how I take things for granted.
Like many other families, the Medlins have turned to St. Jude's and found a place they'll never take for granted.
We've always been under the protection almost of St. Jude's, and they have just been a godsend. They're the most incredible place that we know of, and we just owe them so much.
So Lacey Medlin, a cancer victim when we met her on the very first HTV magazine, is definitely one of St. Jude's success stories. Her childhood was filled with memories of trips to Memphis for treatment and therapy, but she has warm feelings for those who cared for her.
Love of the physical therapist, and she's a lot of fun, and she plays games with kids.
Lacey's cancer has not kept her from a sense of normalcy. In fact, Lacey is finding herself in the same situation as most 18-year-olds.
Starting to look at graduation. She's starting to look at what happens after that point.
I think I would like to do something with flowers, design flowers.
Whatever her future plans may be, her past has taught Lacey and her family what really matters.
She can find the true joy in life a lot better than I can sometimes, and that's something that she carries with her that a lot of us don't, so that's pretty neat.
Physical therapy continues to be part of Lacey's life. On that first story, reporter Lori Reed summed it all up with what seems a fitting conclusion 15 years later.
There will be more trips to Memphis for checkups, but they will be fewer and further between. Angie and Kent Medlin have seen their family and faith grow stronger in recent months, and their Hillcrest family is glad for all the Medlins, especially for Lacey.
We'd all live in a quiet house without Big Bird or a Mickey Mouse. Kool-Aid on the couch, thank God for kids.
For HTV Magazine, I'm Jamie Shank reporting.